My name is Don Purdy. I'm the director of the UAlbany Weekend MBA program, and I'm here to answer all your questions and help you develop the career you're looking for. I'd like you to feel free to ask your questions at any time using the chat feature in the lower right-hand corner of the webinar software, or you can send a message to me at Twitter, and my Twitter handle is UAlbany MBA. A recording of the webinar will be available for review and sharing with colleagues in iTunes, and hopefully very soon from the UAlbany website as well. I think give a really brief overview of the weekend program. I gave a more in-depth overview back on March 7th. This will be very, very brief and quick. Before I do that, though, I'd like to open up a poll question. I'd like to find out from the attendees how many of you will be having your MBA degree or master's program either partially or fully sponsored by your employer. The poll is open, so if you can please participate and answer that question. That'd be helpful in my planning going forward. Okay, in terms of the weekend MBA program, it is a full 48 credits, 22 months, cohort structure. Due to the cohort structure, it is a full entry only. It's an executive level program, so our emphasis is on executives and also those who are not quite there yet, but who aspire to those positions. The classes are held every other weekend, Fridays from 2 o'clock in the afternoon until 8:30 at night, and on Saturdays from 9 a.m. until 4:30 in the afternoon. 85% of our classes are held in our Executive Education Center in Clifton Park, right off exit 9, and the total investment in the program is $38,400 for the 2013 cohort. And that is all-inclusive tuition, course materials, fees and meals, international business trip. And I can assure you that we are the value leader among executive-level MBA programs in New York State. So on to the steps you need to take and the materials you need to submit to pursue your MBA degree. And these are relative to the weekend MBA program. Okay. First of all of our applications now are online. Up until a few months ago, applications were both online and paper, and now they're strictly online. So what I would advise you to do is to go on www.albany.edu/graduate, click on Apply Now, and you'll need to set up an account online through the Graduate Admissions Office. You'll be able to complete and submit your application online, be able to upload your resume as well, in addition to your 1 to 2 page personal statement. I believe you can also be a recommendation letter there as well. You'd be paying your application fee, which is $75 online via credit card. In terms of official transcripts, we need official transcripts from all of your graduate and undergraduate institutions of higher learning. So if you took even one course somewhere, we'll need a transcript for that one course. Okay, we're looking for ideally a 3.0 GPA. If it's a little bit below 3.0, it's not the end of the world, and I'll talk more about that in a few minutes. We'll need your current resume, which I also believe you can upload online as well. We'll need 3 recommendation letters. If you do choose to send them through snail mail, you can. You just make sure that they are in signed, sealed envelopes. And a question I get quite frequently is, well, who can I recommend me for this program? Well, what I would recommend you to do is to, this depends on your years of experience as well, but what you can do is to have your supervisor provide a recommendation letter, perhaps 1 or 2 colleagues, or you can perhaps have a college professor do it as well. The GMAT score. We're looking for a 580 or better. And again, if it's a little bit less than 580, that's not a bad thing necessarily, unless you're in the 300 to 400 range, then that's an issue. But if you're somewhere in that range, 550, 570, 580, of course above, that's a good thing. As I mentioned, if your GPA and your GMAT score are a little bit under those thresholds, it's okay for the most part. What we do is we look at the totality of your application. That is the experience you have in the workforce. That is the strength of your recommendation letters and those kinds of things. Now, what typically happens is if somebody has a little bit less than 3.0 GPA, hopefully they'll compensate, get a little bit better score than 580 in the GMAT or vice versa. Okay. In terms of other materials needed, you would need a 1 to 2 page personal statement. Basically, that states what you want to, what your goals are, career goals, how the MBA degree would fit into that, why you want to apply for the MBA degree at UAlbany. Also, the July 31st deadline is soft. For some reason, the weekend MBA program fills up late, and we typically accept applications throughout August, even at the outset in early September as well. However, with RPI's Executive MBA program moving to Hartford, Connecticut last month, we do expect somewhat higher demand for the program, so we always recommend early application is best. In terms of not the application materials, but in terms of requirements, this is a executive level program for working professionals, so we do expect you to have at least 3 years of full-time work experience. Okay, the average for our program is, I believe, around 15 to 18. But we do have people in the program who have 3 to 5 and some who have 20 to 25, so it really depends. Let's see. In terms of the GMAT waiver, that is an option. A number of people who apply to the program do not like to take standardized tests, and they always ask about a GMAT waiver, and it is available. Typically, if you have at least 15 years of full-time work experience, that would qualify you for the GMAT waiver. If you have a master's degree from an accredited institution and between 5 and 10 years of professional work experience, that would qualify you for the GMAT waiver. And I say between 5 and 10 because it depends on the credits. If you needed maybe 33 credits to complete your master's degree, then you'd need to have at least 10 years experience. If you had to complete over 40 credits for your master's degree, then it would be 5 years. Another option for you to consider the GMAT waiver is a terminal degree, meaning if we have to call you doctor, if you're an MD, a PhD, a DVM, something along those lines, you'd qualify for a GMAT waiver. If you have an LSAT score, that could qualify you from GMAT waiver, from GMAT exam, and also if you have a GRE score as part of a previous master's program application, and that would qualify you for a GMAT waiver as well. And if you do qualify, what we ask you to do is to please submit at least a couple of paragraphs as part of your application package stating why it is you think you qualify for GMAT waiver. And as part of every application process, what we do is once we receive your application materials, we'll review them, and then we'll bring you in for an interview, typically about a half hour, hour perhaps, to talk about your application, your goals, your background, and also, if applicable, your GMAT waiver application. And I see we have a question here. Okay, in terms of class locations, most of the classes, as I mentioned, are held in Clifton Park. We do hold a small number here on campus, about 15%, and they are if we need videotaping equipment like we do for a business presentation skills course, or we need computer labs as we do for Excel course, a database course, and also stats course. Then we'll hold our classes on campus in computer labs. But otherwise, they are primarily in Clifton Park. Okay, in terms of financing, this is a question I get quite a bit. This is a contract program that's run through the Chamber of Commerce up in Clifton Park, so it does not qualify for any federal or FAFSA funding. However, we do encourage our students who need financing to apply to private graduate student loans, and they'd be the same lenders you'd apply to for federal funding as well. So we're talking Wells Fargo, we're talking City Assist, Discover, Chase, and also Sallie Mae. So you can apply to them for graduate student loans and to be able to help you with the funding for this program. We also have scholarship awards available as well. They are need-based, and they are both through chambers of commerce in the area and also general award applications as well. If you belong to one of the 7 chambers of commerce that we belong to, you can submit your application with your letter of support from your employer to that chamber of commerce, and they'll send their recommendation to me. Otherwise, you can send the application with your employer support letter directly to me. I'll review your application. And let's see. There's another question here about post-application interview and how much time it takes once the interview takes place to receive an answer on your status. I would say it would take about 2 weeks to review your application materials, discuss them with the appropriate people, and get back to you with a response. So it is, I think, a relatively fast process and one that moves pretty quickly. In terms of contact information for me, I am the principal go-to person in the program, and here's my contact information. My email is there, my phone number 442-4964, fax 442-4975, my Twitter is there as well, and also my LinkedIn profile. So in case you have any questions whatsoever, if you need some additional information, what a lot of our prospective students do is they sit in on a class, sometimes 2 or 3 on the program to get a kind of a better feel for the program, talk to students, talk to the instructor. That is most certainly an option as well. If you are interested in that, I can email you a schedule for upcoming classes for both first year and second year, so just let me know. So that will conclude my portion of this webinar. If you have any questions, again, please contact me. If you are interested in pursuing a weekend MBA degree, we look forward to receiving your online application. I want to thank you all for attending this webinar today. Again, our next one is on March 30th. So until then, take care and have a fantastic rest of the day.